Hey, this is Katie, and I'm your MUN person. I actually did a thing earlier where I was like, hey, I'm going to be doing MUN video with send me questions, and a ton of these were sent by Steph. Now, instead of doing the thing where at the bottom of the screen there'd be the URL, I am actually just going to do mentions and mention all the URLs that I talk about. And the first two are from Chloe, who is one of my favorite little shits. First question, would you ever consider pulling someone's tooth out for money? See, you need to understand with this. I grew up in the sticks. I grew up south of Dover, Delaware. And if you've ever been anywhere south of Dover, you know just how redneck it can be. I have literally held a laptop together for half a year with duct tape, and yeah, just a lot of duct tape. So it kind of depends on the method of pulling the tooth, I guess. Because, I mean, like, if I have to pin someone down and, like, force a pair of pliers into their mouth, yeah, you better be fucking paying me for this shit. But if it's just, like, tying a string to someone's tooth and slamming the door shut for, like, a kid or something, nah. It's normal stuff to do. Wouldn't have to pay me to do that. Okay, the second question from Chloe is, how did you meet Tyler? Tyler, not one of the Tylers that y'all probably know, but the Tyler that I currently live with and have been in a relationship with for almost 4 years. He actually was a freshman, and I was a sophomore in high school, and we had a friend in common. I don't remember who the friend was, but I walked up with this friend to him and his brother, and his brother immediately looks at me, and then he immediately looks to my friend, and his brother goes, "Man, you got the cheerleader tits," and I still don't know what the hell that means. I still have no idea. But, Tyler had called his brother a dumbass, and that's pretty much how we met, because we agreed on that. I later on pulled a joke on his brother, where, I did several jokes with him, to be honest. But yeah, that's how I met Tyler. The next 8 questions are from Steph. Again, the URL is going to be mentioned at the bottom under the video. What other country do you want to go to? That is a really good question, because there are so many countries I'd want to go to. I can't pick just one. I know that it sounds like really lame and really boring, but Canada's on the list. Places in the UK, Europe in general, stuff like that. Paper or plastic? Wow, Steph, you're really branching out with these questions. I'm just messing, I love you. Paper or plastic? Okay, does the paper bag have, like, a handle, or is it, like, one of those really shitty, it says it's a handle, but it's the same material as the rest of the bag, so as soon as you pick it up, it'll tear and drop all your shit? So does it have, like, an actual handle? Does it have that shitty handle, or does it just have nothing on top, and you gotta pretty much carry it like it's a baby? Sorry, weird commercial came on. But yeah, it kind of depends on, like, what kind of paper bag. Soda in cans or bottles is question number 5. I prefer in bottles. Otherwise, I end up pouring it out into a cup. Hi, baby. Hey, can you do me a thing? Can you bring me the target from the table? Number 6. Natural sunlight or lights? I assume that means outdoor light or indoor light. I'm gonna have to say indoor light because, in case you haven't noticed, I am like white bread pale. And it's related to one of the questions. Thank you. That was Tyler's face, or rather part of it. While you're out here, did I answer the sunlight versus indoor? I think I did. Well, the answer to that's indoor. Hey babe, what's my secret talent? Other than the hiccup thing. I don't really think allergies are a talent. Secret talent. That I can't really think of off the top of my head. I have been told that I can make people ship things, and I can make anything that's happy suddenly sad. Cats or dogs? Why not both? Zombies or vampires? Easy one. Zombies. I went to shooting range over the weekend. And then, this is all one parent. This is another parent, but all this and all of the face holes are mine. I am not saying that I would last long in a zombie apocalypse. I am just saying that I would last longer than someone that did not have a gun, which isn't really much. The last question from Steph is horror or romantic comedy? Depends on the movie. Because, I mean, you show me some of the stuff that's horror nowadays, and it's 99% either jump scares or let's just gross these people out with all the blood that we can. And that is like not scary, it's just gross. And with rom-coms, actually, I'm not really a fan of rom-coms because, I mean, they're so invasive. It's like, how are we supposed to take this relationship seriously and feel like it's actually blossoming if we're literally spying on it in their most intimate moment? It's like, what? Okay. Who is my favorite character to roleplay? That's a good question. And this was from an Anon. Actually, the next 3 are actually from Anons. Who's your favorite character to play? That is a good question. I love all of my roleplay babies the same, as sappy as that sounds, whether it's on my canon styles or my OC babies, Babe, Nick, and Fern. Fern is one of, I will admit, I do favor Fern a little bit, even though I haven't really gotten to do much with him, because Fern is just, let me put it this way, Fern is a Disney princess. If you go check Fern out, after you watch this, you'll see why he's a Disney princess. He just is. Sorry, I'm on my laptop, so I'm kind of changing positions every now and then. But yeah, I can't really decide who's my favorite to roleplay as. Who are some of your favorite blogs that you roleplay with on any of your blogs? it has to be Steph with Love from Leahy. Mimi, who is Screaming Perfection. She was the girl that knew too much, but she gotten logged out, and she didn't have the login information to get back in, so she ended up remaking. Chloe. I say it as My Life or Theirs, but it's one of those URLs that has, like, the X in it for some god unknown reason. Like, I get the reason why, I just don't like the reason. So that's why I say, anyway. There's Chris, of course. Chris is Mama C. Stilinski and Beacon Hill Thespian. And I really love playing with Chris because she indulges me when it comes to some of the things I want to do with OCs. Like with Baven, I'm not only playing as her, I have her family members as side blogs, and she and I have this plot going on between OCs, and it's really good. Because it actually involves, let's see, 1, 2, 3, at least 3 of my OC peoples. And Chris, you never sent me that URL. You need to do that, young lady. You need to do that. What character would you like to RP as in the future? Part of me, I can't believe I'm saying this, but part of me wants to do an AU of Animorphs, and I want to play as Axe. Now, if you're not familiar with Animorphs or Axe, let me just grab one of my books at random. And, as a warning, I'm not wearing actual pants. Okay, let's see if I can find a good, see this little sluggy thing? Little sluggy thing? That's the whole bad guy. That's like literally the bad guy. It gets in your, it wiggles in through your ear and takes control of your brain. It's pretty cool. Come on. Basically, in this one, they end up having to do brain surgery. You're okay, I told Axe soothingly. You're in my dad's operating room. I put Aftran in your head. She looked around. She looked inside you and told me where the tree gland was. She helped me operate. I got it out. You're past your crisis. And blah blah blah. Basically, Aftran is one of the little sluggy wormy things, and Axe is one of the aliens. I really should have grabbed one of the ones that had Axe on the cover so I could show you. But I'm not gonna lie, I really like Axe. Okay. This one is from Chris, and it literally reads, "Hey there, child of mine. I have a question for you. What is your favorite verse to roleplay in either Styles, Bay, Fern, or Nick?" That is a damn good question. You know why? Because sometimes we don't even get a chance to play our fucking verses. We come up with these verse ideas and we never fucking play them. And if we do, it dies. That's one that's kind of impossible to answer because of all the verses that we've planned or plotted about. We've only played like 2. Anyway, but we do have a verse where her gal Felicia does animal rescue, and it's one of the verses where the werewolves shift into full-on wolves, and it doesn't take being some special kind of wolf to do it. So Nick ends up having to be rescued. So I have the starter for that, and yes, I'm just waiting for that, because it's one I'm really looking forward to, because it's adorable. There's also the one that you and I discussed earlier today, Mama. And these last two are from Sam. I think that was your real name. I think I saw it mentioned like once. But, whoops if it isn't. Which of Styles' relationships would you say is the healthiest? And which is the most unhealthy? God. You give me some thought-provoking shit. Let's see. The most healthy, I'd have to say either Scott, Melissa, or his dad. Because, I mean, the four of them together are a family. Whether or not they've made any legal things about it or not, they're all a family. Melissa has been a mother to Styles since, well, it implies in the show at one point that Scott and Styles didn't meet until after Styles' mother had passed away. Season 3A, they're talking about Heather, and Styles actually has to tell Scott that, oh, well, her mom and my mom were best friends. So if Scott had known Styles before then, he would have known about that. So I imagine that Melissa had been a mother to Styles ever since the boys met, and she knew that Styles had lost his mother. And I mean, Scott's been like his brother since the same time frame. And of course, there's the fact that his dad is his dad. And the most unhealthy, I'm actually going to say Peter for this. They're both very cunning. They both kind of think they're a lot more slick than they are. And if Styles had accepted the bite from Peter in the first season, they would have brought hell on Beacon Hills, okay? That's all I'm gonna say for that part of the question. And then the last question says, are there any characters you'd really be interested in seeing Styles, Fern, Nick, or Bay interact with? With Styles, I need more Scott interactions and more sheriff interactions. I basically need like more of his family interacting. For Fern, anybody, please, this little boy, I call him little boy, but he is almost an adult, but he is a teddy bear and he needs love, and he just needs to share his love with the world. Nick needs Chris interactions first and foremost, and he needs he needs Scott interactions. He needs to be told that, hey, you're part of this pack, okay? Yeah, you're an Argent, and yeah, I know that you were pretty much trained from day one to kill the wolves, and I know you were trained to be indiscriminate, but I know that you're not indiscriminate, and I know that you're making the most out of what's happened to you and being turned against your will. And hey, man, I'm in the same boat. I was turned against my will, and look at me, I'm doing great. Although I'm not really sure that is the best advice I can give Nick from my inner Scott. And for Bay, she needs some Styles interactions. 'Cause, I mean, like, she's friendly. She's a very cheerful person, and I mean, I kind of feel like we need to be able to see how she interacts with the pessimism side that Styles has. I mean, I know that it's more realism than pessimism, but I mean, with everything that happened in 3B, he's bound to be feeling a lot of pessimism. He's bound to be feeling a lot of guilt, a lot of, oh, excuse me, self-loathing, things like that. And that is actually it with the questions. If you have any other questions, just go ahead and send an ask, and be sure to preface it with a Munvid or something like that, so I know that it's for another Mun video. And depending on what I get and when I get it, who knows, you might see your question answered next time. Bye, lovies.